Hello and welcome to this episode of RPGGamer Top 5s, and this time as part of a series on the top RPGs on each system, we're going to be doing the top 5 RPGs on the Commodore Amiga. The Amiga was released in 1985 by Commodore International, and although not huge in the United States, it became very popular in Europe with the release of the 8500 in 1987. Although the processor wasn't hugely powerful, the Amiga had a set of custom chips which allowed it to display over 4,000 colours in the days when most PCs were still only showing 16. It was also capable of playing 4 channels of sampled sound, so it also sounded great. And although pointless for gaming, one of the most futuristic elements of the Amiga was its capacity for multitasking, something the PC could only really achieve with the release of Windows 95. Thousands of games were released for the platform, mainly on floppy disk, but later on CD. Commodore ignored developing the Amiga platform, seeking to sell to the rapidly increasing PC market, and as standards on the PC improved, the Amiga began to look dated. The release of the A1200 in 1992 improved the system in almost every way, with a faster processor and an increase in graphics resolution and colours up to 16 million. But at that time, Doom had been released and gaming was going 3D, something the Amiga was ill-suited to. The bankruptcy of Commodore in 1994 was the final nail in the Amiga's coffin and stopped all development of the system. And although the system struggled on and was bought by a couple of other companies over the years, it was being sought for its patented technology, not the system itself, and it faded away slowly. Once again, there are far too many games for me to have played them all, so I'll just be listing the ones I've got personal experience of. So, let's get on with the countdown. At number 5, Dungeon Master by FTL Games in 1988. A real-time role-playing game in a pseudo-3D environment. Dungeon Master put you in a maze, much like 3D Monster Maze on the ZX81. But this time you took your party of 4 characters and had to solve puzzles, unlock doors and fight opponents to get through the dungeon. Dungeon Master was the first in the genre of 3D dungeon crawlers, which feature heavily on this list, and dominated RPGs on the Amiga throughout its life. The game introduced a number of elements to computer RPGs which are still used to this day, such as the paper doll system of lifting items onto a picture of the character's body to equip them. I personally never progressed very far into the game, but I remember the Hall of Champions at the beginning, where the heroes are trapped in mirrors and you must select your 4 heroes before progressing into the game, to be particularly memorable. At number 4, Blood Witch by Imageworks in 1989. Although extremely similar to Dungeon Master, Blood Witch ranks higher on my list due to the fact that it took Dungeon Master and improved it, adding not only a second player to the game, if you so desired, but also an aspect of role-playing itself. With a range of stock pseudo-medieval phrases such as "thou seems fine" and "truly my courage is remarkable," you would sway NPCs to like or dislike you, making traders offer you lower prices, or for certain NPCs join your party. Although the range of phrases used were all from a small selection, each would have a different effect on an NPC depending if they were impressed with compliments, boasts or kind words. The entire effect was ruined slightly by the fact that no matter what you said to a recruitable NPC, they would always have a small chance of joining you. So going up to the NPC and repeatedly saying, "Come join our merry band," again and again until they finally gave in and joined you. I can only guess that you wore their resistance down. At number 3, Hero Quest by Gremlin Interactive in 1991. A computer version of the board game by Games Workshop and Milton Bradley Games. Hero Quest is more of a digital board game rather than an RPG, but so many elements are similar that it's close enough for me, with you taking your heroes, questing into dungeons and gathering loot and magical items. It's familiar enough fare. While pretty simplistic, it's fast moving and fun, well suited to a quick hour's gaming rather than losing yourself in for days, and it was definitely one I returned to again and again. So much so that the soundtrack is still embedded deeply into my psyche. At number 2, Eye of the Beholder 2, The Legend of Darkmoon by Westwood Associates in 1991. While all the previous mentioned games are very influenced by Dungeons & Dragons, it wasn't long before D&D itself reached the computer platforms, and the Eye of the Beholder series were the officially licensed versions of a Dungeon Master type game. While Eye of the Beholder itself was amazing, the sequel, The Legend of Darkmoon, was superior in every way. With beautifully polished gameplay and graphics, you search through the deep dungeons, leading your party through a well-written and compelling storyline. but where it truly succeeds is the fact that it builds the world so much better than Dungeon Master or Blood Witch, making you feel as if you're gaming in a world that reaches far beyond the walls of the dungeon that you're trapped in. Well, once again there were so many games I wanted to put on the list, but didn't have the space, having limited myself to just 5. So here are some games which very nearly made the list. The Fairytale Adventure by Microillusions in 1987. With a top-down view more like a Zelda game, Fairytale Adventure is based around the quest of 3 brothers to retrieve the talisman stolen by the forces of evil and return it to their home village. The unique role-playing aspect of the game is that if you fail in the mission and die, you would begin again as the next youngest brother, with each of the brothers having their own strengths and weaknesses. One is a brave fighter, one is lucky, and one is gentle and kind. Mega Traveller: The Zidani Conspiracy by Paragon Software in 1990. A massive sprawling game based around the Mega Traveller RPG by Games Designers Workshop. The Zidani Conspiracy is set across multiple planets and includes the amazing character generation system of the RPG, where you take a character through his life, gaining skills, money, equipment and reputation, but equally standing the chance of collecting more wounds or even dying during character creation. The game itself was so huge that it was a bit daunting to play, but it just had so much to do in it that it was easy to end up wandering around exploring every corner of the game worlds than bothering with the main quest at all. And our number 1 is Pools of Darkness by Strategic Simulations Incorporated in 1991. The Gold Box series of games from SSI were revolutionary RPGs, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons products that simulated the entire rule system of the RPG, letting you level your characters, take part in tactical battles, and play your way through many hours of adventuring. While the Savage Frontier series of games, Gateway to the Savage Frontier and Treasures of the Savage Frontier were good, and the Dragonlance games, Champions of Krynn, Death Knights of Krynn, and Dark Queen of Krynn were amazing. It was my familiarity with the Forgotten Realms campaign setting which made the Pools of Radiance series stand out for me, with Pools of Radiance, Curse of the Azure Bonds, Secret of the Silver Blades, and finally Pools of Darkness. With each game allowing you to level your characters further and further, Pools of Darkness was the final part of the tale, with you reaching as high as 30th level, and questing into the Underdark to fight Dark Elves, and into another dimension to battle demons across the body of a slumbering god, and a final battle within his heart itself. The game just kept throwing memorable encounters at you, with the settings of the previous games revisited but given a new twist by the events of this game. I have to admit cheating in this game a little, by exporting my characters from later in the game and importing them again into a starting party to replay the early sections through again with much higher level characters. I also remember my party's habit of heading into a shop to get everything identified, then leaving thousands of platinum pieces behind on the counter because their weight were just incumbrous in battle. And it's memories like that which make it number 1 on our list of top Amiga RPGs. So what do you think? Any ones we missed? Any favourites you'd like to suggest? Let us know either in the comments or by getting in touch with us directly. So, as always, many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Look after yourselves, and we'll catch you later. Bye.